The second half of today's lesson asks us to divide a polynomial by a binomial. And so that's what the problems will be set up like this, as a fraction. And really, all we end up having to do is factor and solve. And so we're going to end up having to divide a polynomial by a binomial again, but in this case we have common factors, and that's what you're going to see on tonight's homework. So first thing I would do is check to see if you can just factor this. And so I see that if I factored it, I would end up with a 2x and a minus 3 and an x plus 1. So what I'm basically doing is I'm checking to see if I can just factor the numerator and see if I can cancel out these terms. So let's check and make sure that the outside terms and the inside terms do indeed make a negative 1x here. So this makes negative 3x or positive 2x. So I had 2x here and negative 3x here, and yeah, those do subtract to make negative 1x. So it works. So we can cancel out those x plus 1s, leaving us with this 2x minus 3. And that would be it. So again, when you've got a problem like this and they ask you to divide, well, before we just divide, let's see if we can reduce and just simplify that way like we had done in the past. It'll make the problem go easier and faster. So look at what we've got to take out at 3y minus 2. Let's try the 3y minus 2 as the binomial, one of the binomials. And so the other one would have to be a 2y to multiply to make the 6y squared, and it would have to be a positive 5 to make a negative 10. Well, just check your outside terms and inside terms to see if they make 11y. Here we have 15y, and here we have a negative 4y, and yeah, they do end up subtracting to make 11y. So I can get those 3y minus 2's to cancel out. So I'm left just with the 2y plus 5, and that would be my answer. So you're going to see on all the problems tonight that you'll have on this page, in this section, you're going to end up with two binomials as the factored form of the numerator. And so same sort of thing as we had done before. So we're just going to factor this, and it should factor to an x plus 15 and an x plus 1. And it's all over that x plus 15. So the main thing I'm trying to show you on these is that always check to see if you can make the problem go a little quicker. And if it doesn't end up factoring, then we'll have to deal with that tomorrow, because that'll be tomorrow's lesson when we have factors that are a polynomial that does not factor as, or have one of the factors as the binomial that we're trying to divide into. But this does end up working out. See how the outside terms make a 1x, the inside terms made 15x, and those do add to equal that 16x, the middle term, which we have there. So those x plus 15s will cancel. You've got an x plus 1 left over. Same thing here. Try that same binomial. Try the 2t minus 1, and here we would have to have a 4t plus 3. And check to see if it works. You see 2t and 4t make the 8t squared. Negative 1 and 3 make the negative 3. Just got to check your outside terms. And that makes 6t. Your inside make a negative 4t. And yes, those will end up subtracted to make 2t. So it does end up working out. And so we'll go ahead and cancel those out. We're left just with that 4t plus 3. So always something to look for. See if you can make it go faster by doing this, by factoring and then canceling. So I know this is b minus 7 and b plus 7 because that's what differences of squares, which these are, always factor to as sum and a difference. And so we'll end up getting those b minus 7's to cancel, leaving us just with that b plus 7. And that would be our answer. Well, this one looks a little different because they put it in the wrong order. This is in ascending order, and typically we see it in descending order. So if you see it that way, you don't like it, just go ahead and rewrite it as in descending order, and then try to factor it. And when I go ahead and factor this, it does factor to an x plus 5 and an x plus 2. Numbers that multiply to make 10 but add to make 7 are 5 and 2. Get those x plus 2's to cancel out, left with an x plus 5 as the answer. That is it. So that's what you'll see on the second half of tonight's assignment. Good luck.